leave the design environment and move into the manufacturing environment. So click on where it says design and could enter manufacture in that list. And it will bring you to this space. Now there already will be, if I hide out some of these things, I think called right-hand setup here for you. And this has all the information the machine needs to be able to make your car. So if you double click on right-hand setup, what has already been set up for you is a thing called the work coordinate system, WCS. And that basically tells the machine where the origin point is. And that's that point right there on your car. So that's already been set up for you, so you don't have to worry about that. But essentially what we want to do is make sure that this face of the car is facing upwards. We want to tell the machine that this is the top of the car, even though it's the side. We want to tell it this is the top, and it will machine everything from that side. So it will machine everything from the right-hand side first, and then it will machine everything from the left-hand side. So your setup has already been, work coordinate system's already been set up. So the z-axis should be a blue line pointing upwards, facing in the direction of this. Your x-axis should be facing backwards or away. So always make sure that the x-axis is pointing away. Just like if you forget, there's a giant, great big reminder right here. So that's really important that it's always pointing away from your car. So the z-axis, x-axis are set up. You have to tell the setup what it is that you want to machine. So you've got to choose the models you want to machine from this list. So currently, when I go to click on this one, it shows me that this one's already been selected. So that is the thing which is being machined at the moment. So you obviously also have to select your car, or all the things that you want to machine. So if I click on this, it will select my car as well. Now sometimes it will select the wheels and the virtual cargo and that sort of stuff as well. So sometimes you might have to go into your model tree, find your car, and just select the body it is that you want to machine. Sometimes you can just click on it here. So at the moment, I've got that fixture, and I've got that support structure, and I've got the car machining. You might have multiple bodies. You might just have the one like me. So make sure they're both selected. The machine also needs to know where the fixtures are. And now you have two fixtures. One is this spigot, which sticks into the back of the car, and one is this clamp. We need to know where they are so we don't run into them accidentally. And the last thing we need to set up as well is what it is that we're machining from. So we're machining from a solid block of balsa wood, and that's already been selected for you as well. So once you do OK, your setup will change, and all these toolpaths will be out of date because things have changed. There's a number of things we'll need to adjust, and that is what's being drilled. So the first operation that's in our setup is our drill sequence. Now at the moment, you just have a drill just drilling midair up here. So this drill operation is designed to drill out our axles. So I'll need to right click on this and hit edit. And in here it's got a tool selected. So when I click on tool, milling, this is the tool which we're going to be using for all of the operations on our car. It's a 6mm ball nose mill bit. So it's got a rounded tip on it to stop it, to make sure that we can machine nice, smooth car bodies. So the tool should be selected. Coolant should be disabled. We're not machining metal, so the coolant should be disabled. And there should be a whole set of preset feed and speed settings in here. Please do not change these. That just tells the machine how fast to run, how fast to turn the bit, how fast to move the bit, all that sort of stuff. Under geometry, you will need to choose something other than this random hole. So under geometry, we want to hit deselect on hole points, and then we want to select our 2 axle holes. It doesn't matter which one you select first. And then under heights, again, nothing we need to change, but the 2 critical ones are the top height. So that's the should be the top stock top, and then the bottom height should be origin minus 4 millimeters. So when we're drilling and machining anything on this side, we're just going to go a little bit further past 4 millimeters past the middle of the model. And the reason for that is because that mill bit is rounded. We just want to make sure it goes a little bit further past to make sure it's fully machined. So 4 millimeters there. We okay. And drill operation is probably the quickest one. All it's doing is drilling a hole in, coming out, coming across, drilling that hole and coming out again. So that should be the quickest operation that we have. Next, we should have an adaptive and a scallop. So the adaptive operation roughs out the entire block so that it basically has 2 millimeters, leaves 2 millimeters of material. So it roughs out, gets rid of most of the material that we don't want, and then the scallop, that final operation, will do the rest of the job. So I'm just going to right click on where it says right setup and hit generate, and it will ask me some of these operations do not need to be regenerated. Yeah, we'll do it anyway. It was only the drill which didn't need to be done. So the adaptive seems to take the most time to generate. I'm not sure why. It's just a really slow process for it to generate. Once you've got green ticks on each of these, you hover over them, it should show you what the toolpath is. The adaptive will be super confusing, and the scallop should look a lot like your car. What we can do now is head into a simulation and see if it's going to be doing the right thing. So simulate with machine. When you turn simulation on, you want to make sure that the tool's turned on. You want to have the tool path turned on, and you just want that in tail. If you have it on all toolpath, you won't see anything but toolpath on your screen, so just it's a bit pointless. So just on tail, and you want to make sure your stock's turned on. You can change the color if you wish to something else, but plastic vinyl is sort of closest to what we're going to look like in the end. Down here is sort of how you can play through your operations, and at the bottom there's also what your operations look like. So the first one is the drill. It's very, very short. It's almost impossible to see. And then there's the adaptive, and then there's the scallop operation. So we can hit play, and it will show us. It's moving very slowly at this point. I might just speed it up a touch. So it drills in the first axle hole, drills in the second axle hole, comes out, and now it's starting the adaptive clearing process. So it's going to start machining parts off the car. Let's work its way around. I'm just going to speed this up. Your computer might be a little bit laggy when it does this because it's a significant amount of operation. That's doing a lot of calculations to make this happen. So I'll speed it up. Now, the main thing we're looking for when we're watching this is red. We don't want to see things flashing red, which means that there's collisions with things that there shouldn't be. Anytime it does that, it will create a little red mark down here in the window. So you can see now it's moved over, it's doing the scallop, and the scallop's working its way from the outside all the way in to give us a nice finish on our car. So still no red marks for me at this point, which is good. Very close to finishing, and it's just got this very last part here to finish the tip of the wing. So that should look more or less like your car, because that's what the machine's going to do. So if you don't have any red marks, you're ready to move on to the next step. If you do have red marks, that means there's something wrong with either your setup or your operations. If your car's missing axle holes and other bits and pieces, you'll have to troubleshoot. You'll have to modify the operations or the setup before you move on to the next step.